Greetings to you from Vasva Group. We take this opportunity to welcome you to this Customer Awareness on True Costing Module 2. Every customer wants that they must operate the project cost within allocated budget. It consists of two parts. Let us consider the mechanical part. First one is procurement cost of materials, and second one is mechanical execution. Most of the cases, design, engineering, and procurement are done by the customer. Thereafter, customer awards the mechanical execution part to suitable mechanical contractor. While designing the tender document, a customer focuses on the following aspects. 1. Pass on to contractor complete responsibility as far as possible. 2. Try to give operating cost of project execution under the contractor's control so that contractor will be responsible for any overshooting of the operating cost and customer will be free from monitoring project execution cost. While framing certain clauses in a contract, at first glance it appears that the customer has wisely designed the clauses in their favor, but actually it is not so. Let us discuss with one example. A customer has asked to quote a bidder for fabrication work of steel structure for one of brownfield projects. Customer has advised the bidder to include construction power cost in the fabrication work and has advised that power will be chargeable at a price of 6 rupees and 25 paisa per kilowatt hour. What is the intention of the customer? A contractor has to use the power judiciously. They must switch off the machines when not in use, switch off lights when not required, and prevent wastage of power. If they fail to do so, contractor will lose their revenue. Now let us see the other side of the coin. Suppose the power cost is rupees 2,800 rupees per metric ton of fabrication. Now if it is included in the work, contractor will produce invoice of the whole work, which of course includes the power cost. This power cost component will be added to the income of the contractor. Therefore, additional burden of 2% towards TDS will be saddled on the contractor. Consequently, the repercussion is contractor loads additional price equivalent to the TDS. There is another alternative. Let the customer fix the upper limit of power consumption in kilowatt hour per metric ton of fabrication. If contractor consumes more power than the prescribed agreed limit, he will give proportionate discount in their services. For example, let the upper limit of power consumption be fixed at 450 kilowatt hour per metric ton of fabrication. If the contractor consumes 460 kilowatt hour per metric ton of fabrication and there is say 100 metric ton of fabrication, that means there is excess power consumed by contractor, which is 460 minus 450, which is equal to 10 units per metric ton multiplied by 100 metric ton, which is equal to 1000 units. The excess power cost is equivalent to 6,250 rupees. So contractor will give flat discount from the service invoice, which is same amount, that is 6,250 rupees. Here there are two benefits to customer. 1. Customer saves additional price loading of 2% towards TDS burden. 2. If the contractor consumes less than 450 units per metric ton of fabrication, then this is savings of customer and not the contractor. Please observe carefully. If power consumption is included in fabrication cost, then whatever saving is achieved, that goes to the contractor. Same thing is true for consumables also. Most of the cases, customer says you include all consumables in your scope of supply and load the price and the fabrication cost. What if customer adopts the following? If customer says consumables will be issued by the customer, however, the upper ceiling of electrodes is fixed at, say, 18 kg per metric ton of fabrication. If contractor consumes 20 kg per metric ton of fabrication and if the total fabrication quantity is 100 metric ton, then contractor has consumed 20 minus 18, that is equal to 2 kg excess electrode per metric ton of fabrication. And in total, 200 kg of excess electrode has been consumed by contractor. Considering 120 rupees per kg of electrode for E6013, the equivalent cost of excess consumed electrode is 120 multiplied by 200. That is equal to 24,000 rupees. Now contractor has to give flat discount of rupees 24,000 from their service bills. What is the benefit to customer? There are three benefits. 1. If contractor consumes say 16 kg per metric ton of fabrication, there is saving of 24,000 rupees which will go to customer's pocket. Whereas if the consumables cost is included in the cost of fabrication, this savings goes to contractor's pocket. 2. Customer saves additional price loading of 2% towards TDS burden. 3. The quality of electrode is controlled by the customer. Also, it is possible that a premier customer like ACC, Ultratech Cement, Tisco, BHEL, etc. may get the electrode in cheaper price due to having huge business with electrode suppliers. In general, in greenfield projects, customer has not established any stores department in the beginning stage of the project. Therefore, they don't like to invest their time and energy for purchase of small items like electrodes, gas, and hardware. However, this is not true for brownfield projects and major shutdown jobs in existing plant setup. There is a materials department and stores and are well established. Contractor may give the consumption plan in the beginning of the project, or even customer can procure the electrodes and gas as per upper limit fixed in the work order. Let us discuss about the impact of performance guarantee clause on the pricing structure. Let us illustrate one example. Though it is not attributable to a contractor, it is rather attributable to a machinery supplier. Anyway, our intention is to explain with a practical example. There are 4 chain type bucket elevators in an old cement factory in the packing plant. Customer wanted to upgrade all the 4 chain type bucket elevators to belt bucket elevator one by one in phased manner. It is worth mentioning that all the 4 bucket elevators are of same capacity and same height. Customer ordered first belt bucket elevator to a premier supplier. Obviously, they have put performance guarantee clause on power consumption and design capacity. There is a provision of penalty if there is a drop in specific power consumption kilowatt per hour per metric ton of cement transported. There is a provision for holding 10% of purchase order value and which should be released after submission of a bank guarantee of an equivalent amount valid for 12 months. Now, first bucket elevator ran successfully. All the guaranteed performance was achieved in performance guarantee test. Now the customer makes repeat order to the same machine supplier with same terms and conditions. Now, please hold on for a minute and think in depth. Whether the performance guarantee clause is now necessary in the purchase order of next 3 belt bucket elevators? Absolutely not. If the same design and same model of belt bucket elevator with same kilowatt of motor is supplied, it will definitely perform as per first belt bucket elevator. See the cost impact on customer. If there is a provision of bank guarantee, the supplier incurs some expenses on bank charges to get the bank guarantee. It is quite natural that the supplier has loaded this price during bidding stage. Ultimately, the money goes from the pocket of customer. Customer should always take calculated risk, where the performance guarantee clause and holding certain percentage of money is not required. In many projects, there is a performance guarantee clause for contractors also. The same provision of holding certain amount of money and same provision of releasing the money through a bank guarantee applies here too. For example, a customer has ordered kiln shell and tire changing job to a contractor. The tire and kiln shell has been supplied by a premium machine supplier. Contractor has worked in strict supervision with the supplier's service engineer. The service engineer has supervised as per their technical erection manual and ensured the quality, alignment and accuracy of installation work. There has been stage-wise inspection and joint protocol of work. Now, the work has been completed and kiln is commissioned successfully. Where is the question of performance guarantee of the contractor? If anything would occur, it is likely to be the fault in engineering of the supplier. Also, the work has been carried out as per instruction and supervision of supplier. Therefore, contractor doesn't come into picture. Therefore, here putting a performance guarantee clause for a contractor doesn't make a customer any benefit. After all, there must have been a performance guarantee clause for the supplier. On the contrary, the contractor loads appropriate bank charges and is ultimately paid by the customer. Thank you for patient hearing. We shall be sharing more videos on customer awareness on cost optimization. Vasva Group aims at complete customer satisfaction. Thank you.